All right, everyone, welcome back into another NFL DFS video. Have you guys covered here with the picks and props here for that late main slate. Now, obviously, we are pretty much crushing it for the early slate. Hopefully, you guys were able to take advantage of that. Some GPP sweats currently in first of a GPP, so hopefully we can take that down. JJ McCarthy is tearing it up, though. Trent Sherfield just scored a touchdown. Not too much of him. Interesting. But regardless, a very good day going NFL DFS wise. Hopefully we can have you guys covered here with the main slate. And so obviously I'm pretty excited for the main slate as well. But I want to start out with some prop bets because I didn't come out with a prop betting video. If you guys have questions, happy to answer those. And guys, I know you guys are crushing it for the early slate. At least I hope. I hope you took the advice. If you did, honestly, send some screenshots on Twitter. That's appreciated. Let's go ahead and jump on into some of the prop line differences that we are getting today. And I want to start out with pick six, actually. Just it's the easiest thing that we can kind of start with there. So looking at the board today, we are getting a plethora of prop bets available, more so today than any other day that we have gotten. Okay, so we have plenty of options in terms of where we want to go prop betting wise, especially pick six, which is good. Okay, I have seen some different lines for Spencer Rattler, Desmond Ridder, Kyle Trask, Sam Howell. We're going to see some big prop line differences when we're looking at that. And then in terms of rush yards, Isaac Orendo, I'm assuming he's not playing. I'm a little bit surprised by that. We still need to get news on that. But if he does indeed sit, I think we're going to be looking at Jordan Mason to have a good game. So that's something to monitor. Kind of as expected, just in general for pick six here. They're kind of, and this is what I suggested doing DFS-wise, is that we're kind of just splitting the workload for the LA Chargers backs. Elijah Dotson, Isaiah Spiller. That just makes sense. We were already planning on do that. And so I'm kind of okay with that. The one I'm kind of shocked by is Jordan Mims. Jordan Mims is expected to get a pretty healthy workload in this one. And so even if he only gets 6 touches total, we probably need 6 at least, 6 rushes, I should say. He's still going to probably be able to get that over. So I don't mind that. And then one interesting one as well, A.T. Perry. Okay, A.T. Perry, an underdog, is at like 29.5 rushing receiving yards. Obviously, he's a receiver. And so at 19.5 on pick six, that's when we could be running the over with as well. So I don't mind that. Jake Bobo is someone that's expected to play a lot. Jake Bobo is someone we could easily attack on this slate. 17.5, that is an extremely low line there. And then from there, I don't know if we need to do more than that. So I do want to jump into then PrizePicks as well. We'll jump into that. If you guys have any questions, as always, get those in. Happy to answer those. We'll begin to DFS here in just a second after this, but let's go ahead and jump now into PrizePicks. So again, PrizePicks wise, we are getting a decent fair share of lines. Again, happy for that. Now, looking at it, again, Sam Howell, right? This is big. This is a big prop line difference that we are seeing between PrizePicks and pick six. So that's a decent chance for a mill. And I say that, guys, I called out this morning on the 9 to 5 Discord chat. Man, who was it now? Who had the early game? Oh, Mitchell Trubisky. He ended up middling for us, which was pretty awesome. And so we had those opportunities. Desmond Ridder there, 105. That seems pretty high to me, but at the same time, Clayton Tune, they dropped it down from 100. Okay. I was going to say, Clayton Tune is terrible. He's kind of proven that. And so the fact that we were getting at 97.5, I was definitely interested in that. From there, let's jump into receiving yards. Yeah, so Jake Bobo, his lines are much more accurate on PrizePicks, I would say. So again, going back to pick six, that's a pretty massive edge that we have on his receiving yards. It should not be that low. And so lastly, rush yards, anything there, guys, again, so Jordan Mason there again. So Isaac, maybe he's playing, but either way, Jordan Mason's line is a little bit too low. I still think Cody is going to be the one we want to go with the most, and we'll touch on that in DFS-wise there. That's going to be the one we want to go with the most. Bucky Irvin's a decent play there as well. So with that, let's go ahead now and then jump into some underdog stuff. Not too many questions rolling in there. If you guys have any questions, get those in. Happy to help out there. Let's see. I want to see just how my lineups are doing here as well. Surprisingly, that Trent Sherfield touchdown hurt me, which was a little bit crazy there. Not sure why. Wow, Sean Clifford's still in the game. Interesting. All right, sorry guys, getting distracted here. But let's get into some underdog. Just refresh this again. We're already seeing lines go great. So Andre Yoshiva is someone that should get a lot of work in this game. So I'm a little bit surprised that his line is that low, but at the same time, does he get a lot of work? I guess that's my biggest question. He should play with Jake Browning a decent amount and Joe Burrow. But he also is kind of being treated as a starter. And so this is kind of their sneaky way of not giving us Jermaine Burton props, not giving us Kendrick Pryor props because they know better. They know that'd be a pretty big edge for us. And so from there, we're getting any other decent edges there. Ricky Pearsall, not even sure he's going to play. I wasn't expecting him to play. They've been doing that a lot. Underdog's been doing that a lot. So just be careful with that. So one line that I find kind of interesting is Mac Jones today. Mac Jones is expected to play at least a half of football. And so if you're telling me that Mac Jones is going to play at least a half of football, or I should say around a half of football, like he should be able to get that over. Now, I get he's probably going to play against a little bit of the Chiefs starters, but that's a very solid line that we are getting there. That's kind of it right now for underdog. Okay, so tighter board for underdog. Okay, so that kind of does it for the props, guys. But I do want to show you guys just some prop line differences that we are getting as well. So let me get that page pulled up here as well. Again, we're going to get more and more probably prop line differences as the day progresses. Let's just show you guys that sheet here real quick. All right, so yeah, looking at Jake Browning's one, Mac Jones is one. So some middling opportunities there. Lines are somewhat correcting a little bit. Andre Yoshiva there as well. Jordan Mason, as I called out, that's a decent one there. Will Levis, I don't really care about that. Ricky Pearsall, I haven't seen any confirmation that he's going to play. So I just won't even mess with that. Again, you don't want to target questionable players on pick six because that would just ruin your lineup. That kind of does it for pick six. Let's go ahead and get into some questions, and then we'll get into some DraftKings. That's awesome. So yeah, I'm doing it. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be doing NBA DFS on this channel. I will still be doing NBA props for sure. We'll see. We'll see what happens with NBA DFS, but for sure doing NFL season long and everything. Love that power. Appreciate that. He did drop that bomb. I mean, that's kind of the tough part about starters. You know, they're not going to play much, but they're starters sometimes going against a decent amount of backups. It kind of sucks. Yeah, so we got some DFS questions coming in. Let's get into that. So, what are your favorite DFS plays today? Right. So there's a lot today. There's so many good plays that we have today. That's a big issue, I guess, on today's plays, that there's so many good plays that the issue is getting proper exposure. Okay, so the easy play, I think everyone's going to be on him. Is Cody Schrader here, where you look at it, Garendo's probably out. Again, I need to confirm that here. I probably should tweet that, or search on Twitter. Elijah Mitchell's going to be out. CMC is going to be out. Jordan Mason should get a decent amount of work, but they have Kyle Juszczyk, obviously a fullback. We're not too worried about that. Patrick Taylor, not all that good. All reports are saying that Cody's going to get a decent amount of work, so he's obviously one of those plays. Ronnie Bell I like as well, but kind of the issue that I have with San Francisco is that we don't have as big of a stacking opportunity there. Like, obviously, we want to stack our quarterbacks with our receivers, so we can still get away with playing Ronnie Bell there. And then even in that same game, running back wise, we have a ton of good running back plays. Tennessee's pretty thin there. I think we can expect Haskins and Chestnut to at least get 5 carries each. So obviously I like that. That is pretty huge. And Grant DeBose is going off. Sorry, I'm excited. Sorry, that was probably loud in the ear there. We're having a good DFS day. I'm excited. From there, it's all about stacking today. Again, we have so many quarterbacks that are expected to play at least a half of football that's the route I'm going. Like even for Tennessee, like Mason Rudolph, Malik Willis, we could play a decent amount of stack them with Kinsey. Jackson's been something that's been popping up, Kyle Phillips. But in terms of like who my favorite plays are, like just directly, I know A.T. Perry has a decent prop line. I don't know if I exactly agree with that. Like Kevin Austin, I like a little bit more. But Jake Bobo just gonna be targeting a lot. We have 2 tight end plays that are just super easy in terms of who we want to be targeting on this slate. That's Strange. And that is Holker. I think that's his name. So, yeah, I mean, we have a decent amount to build off of, which is nice. What are your thoughts on Sean Tucker? I'm fine with Sean Tucker. Like Sean Tucker is a play that I didn't get to too much. I probably should get to him a little bit more. Sean Tucker is someone that I really liked last year. I was very much hyping him up last year. Him and Chase Brown were the 2 kind of rookie under the radar players I was hyping up, especially in terms of, potentially could take away a starting position. Now, obviously that did not come to fruition, but it makes sense for him to get a lot of work. I also like Bucky Irving as well in this game. It's just a question of playing time. I think we're just going to assume that they're going to be splitting. I thought they were going to be dropping the free square tomorrow. Is that incorrect? I thought it was tomorrow. But yeah, we are going to be getting a PrizePicks free square, which is awesome. I like the under on Clayton Tune. I do like the under on Clayton Tune. He's just not good. Now, that being said, this is something I vividly remember last year. Clayton Tune was playing like the full game, and I think his prop line was like 170. I'm like, no, we're hammering the under here. And it worked out in that regard. I don't know. He's just not that good. We saw it last year. He's not good. Maybe he got better. He is a young player. He's probably going to get at least a half of football, or he will get a half of football here. Kyler Murray not expected to play. Desmond Ridder, we kind of know is bad as well. I am playing the Saints defense for DFS. I don't mind the under. I had it earlier today when it was much higher. Now it's for Clayton Tune. Now it's come down to 97. I didn't see it for pick 6 there or underdog. So a little bit annoying there. But yeah, I did like it more when it was higher. One of my favorite PrizePicks plays, I kind of mentioned that already. See if I can go back and find those real quick. And apologies. I should probably write that down. Let's just see here again. Oh yeah, Jordan Mims, they just raised that up by 1. That's funny. George Jesus. Holane? That's not how you say it. Whatever. He's expected to get a decent amount of work in this game as well. So those are 2 pretty like low lines for 2 players that are expected to get a pretty heavy workload. So I don't mind that. Hainer or Rattler, man, it's ugly. Like I know, like looking at props, we should be targeting one of those 2, right? I get the question coming in there, but Hainer, we don't know for sure how much he's going to play. Man, I would rather go like with Howell or a player that we know is at least not complete trash, if that makes sense. Like I watch a lot of film guys. Like, I mean, Hainer, whatever. That's we don't care about. But Ritter was so bad, so I'm struggling with that. Yeah, so Pearsall is ruled out as expected. So yeah, further emphasizes Ronnie Bell as a play for us today. Yeah, so the preseason go Tanner Hudson, and honestly, this is something I have forgot a little bit today, and I'm a little bit worried about it. And my kind of concern with Tanner Hudson is that I think he could actually be their tight end number 1. Like last year, he was their top pass catching tight end. You got Eric Alley there. Apparently, he's been struggling. And so my biggest concern with him is they just might not play that much because he's too good now. And so that honestly is a concern. We'll see. I'm actually paying close attention to how much Tanner Hudson plays in this game, simply due to the fact that he could end up being a massive best ball player for us. At the same time, if he goes off today, that's most likely not going to be a good sign because that's him playing in the preseason again. It's kind of like a NBA Summer League, if you will, where if a player is playing it for like the 3rd year, Marjan Beauchamp, for example, from the Bucks, it's not a good thing. And so I do like Tanner Hudson. I have the 2 tight ends I already mentioned. heavy on those two. And then I have about 20% of Tanner Hudson after that. So I do like that. What about Spencer Rattler? Yeah, I just it's a guessing game. Like I get it. Like I wouldn't talk you. I get it playing time wise. I get it for sure. For me, and I definitely have exposure to those guys. I have like 7%. But for me, if we're talking about like players we should be going out of our way to target, it's Sam Howell, even PJ Walker, it's Kyle Trask, and even John Wolford. Like I have a little bit more confidence in those players. But again, it is a little bit of guessing time in terms of playing time. I won't talk you out of it. Like Easton Stick is projected or should play about a half of football as well. So I don't want to talk you out of those plays. I get it, but and then top QB play. So I just kind of mentioned that, like probably Trask, probably Howell. RB been hitting. So yeah, RB plays have been hitting for Underdog and PrizePicks. Obviously yesterday with the Underdog bet of the day, went 4 for 5. Nice flex hit there for us. Well, was it 3 for 4? I forget. I know one of the players was a DNP. Anyways, it was a nice double up flex wise yesterday for us on Underdog. The RB plays have been hitting. They're just a little bit more predictable because obviously you need to trust typically bad quarterbacks to get receivers the ball. That doesn't always work out. How much work will Trey Benson get? He apparently is going to get a decent amount of work in this one. That's kind of all the reports that I've seen. I just doesn't make sense for him to get that much work. I gotta see if Michael Carter's active. I thought I saw a blurb about him potentially sitting as well. So it's definitely interesting. No, he did not. This is related, Chris. Damn. I had a decent amount of Lloyd today. Enough of Emmanuel Wilson as well, but that's tilting there. I'm so sick of injuries in preseason. It's holding me back. Obviously, yesterday with Connor, that was terrible. 2 nights ago with Green and Hooker, that's getting annoying. That's getting very annoying, actually. Best partner stack with Trask. So to me, the best stack to go with Trask would be, I would say McMillan first, and then Johnson. And then Jared is actually getting a decent amount of lines, but like I do think Sterling Shepard being there is kind of interesting. Like he's never been a bad player; he's just always been injured. So, dude, Chris, it is like this. There's a lot of injuries that happen in preseason DFS. I remember being tilted about this last year, but every slate of having something extremely tilting happen like that's annoying. Obviously, the Hall of Fame game having a full quarter taken off, and then the last 3 slates having two of the highest owned or a few of the highest owned players for me at least getting injured. That's kind of annoying. Now I didn't kind of split it with Lloyd. I wasn't too crazy with him, but that's tilting. I do want to go ahead and just on my end see if we're getting any more updates here injury wise. All I'm doing is checking my Twitter list of like beat reporters. So we did get some news for the Jaguars, just for what it's worth. The Jaguars, we know that I'll pull this up here as well. We know that Johnson is going to be out for the Jaguars. Okay, so the running back, or sorry, not Johnson, Robinson is indeed going to be out for them. And so that makes Jackson a little bit more interesting, I would say, just the fact that we got that confirmation. Let's see here. Not too much. I'm a little bit surprised. Typically, we're getting more and more news, right up around lineup lock. Shout out to Team USA as well for winning basketball. It's fun. Yeah, so I don't mind the rugby star in this game as well. Reese, it's kind of a fun player to be on today. I have some exposure to him, not too much, probably like 10%. So let's see. I did love the Zamir White touchdown today. That's going to raise up his stock, even though Alexander Madison looks just as good, or if not better, like I've been saying the whole preseason. So that's an interesting one. A lot of injuries for the Browns today in general. So, okay, so we did get confirmation that Brock Purdy is not expected to play. Okay, that's good. We kind of knew that. Brandon Allen expected to play the first half, then Joshua Dobbs. I know Tanner Mordecai was getting a little bit of hype, so I'm curious if he's going to get any work at all. Kind of interesting there. All right, so Chargers just got confirmation on the Chargers as well. Nice. So not soon enough for the Chargers. We know Herbert was not going to play. Gus Edwards is indeed out. Okay, here's an interesting one. Davis is out for the Chargers. That's kind of interesting. We knew J.K. Dobbins was going to be out, so that's no shock there. Any more that's surprising? Not really. The tough part about the Chargers, receiver-wise, is that don't really know who to target. It's a weird spot. I kind of like a little bit of all of them. Johnson makes sense. Rice makes sense. Fioco's a guy that has popped a decent amount, so it's kind of annoying there. For what's worth, Ben Mason is also one of the players that is out tonight. I don't think that really changes much for anybody. I did want to call that out. So reports were that we're going to see a half of football out of Easton Stick as well. I don't think that's shocking to anyone, but good to get that news and get that confirmation. Okay, we're getting some Titans players on the field, which is nice to see. Kinsey's there, which is good. Phillips is there, which is good. Small suiting up, the running back as well. Good stuff. Chris Conley leading the breakdown. Fun. What's interesting is Joe Burrow and Baker are both suited up tonight. I don't think we're expecting them to really play or play that much. So again, really kind of a moot point there. What's crazy, just real quickly, going back to the kind of the Emmanuel Wilson and Marshawn Lloyd stuff. I mentioned this a little bit in passing, a decent amount. It's like they're the same player. So honestly, if you were someone that, I get that Lloyd was the fun rookie pick, but if you were already taking Lloyd in best ball drafts, if he is actually injured, Marshawn Lloyd, draft Wilson. It's the same thing. Same thing. Wilson's a little bit slower, but he's looked good at every step of his career, except for like one terrible drop pass on a third down play in a crucial game time decision earlier on last season. That was a little bit annoying. Who did I take? James Robinson or Mims? So, man, the film on James Robinson has been rough lately. And so, based off of the last time I had seen Jordan Mims, it's Jordan Mims pretty easily for me. Hopefully, I'm not wrong. Obviously, James Robinson could fall into the end zone. Don't like that. Oh, I appreciate that. That is awesome. Thank you. Receiver just in general or tonight? I'm interested. My favorite receiver has always been Keenan Allen, just because he's someone that goes extremely late in drafts. So it's always been a nice value pick. Receiver wise tonight, I'm assuming that is the question. I do like Jake Bobo a lot. I do like Ronnie Bell a decent amount. I can actually show you guys kind of who my favorite plays are. I think you guys can see this decently. Let's see here. I believe you guys can see that pretty well. So I'm just filtering by receiver. I'll move this over a little bit. There we go. So Ronnie Bell, Austin, Kyle Phillips a decent amount. Let's see, when was this? There we go. And Jake Bobo. So probably need a little bit less Jake Bobo. That's something I'll change at the end of this video. Jermaine Burton, I got 25% of. So yeah, I got a decent allocation of receivers here. Nice, sorry. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, these are kind of my favorite receivers right here. This is kind of what I'm going with. These should be loaded up in the lineup optimizer for you as well. Just as an FYI, if anyone's using the 9 to 5 lineup optimizer tonight, I do have negatives in there for some players because there's a little behind the scenes stuff. There's a little bit of overlap between preseason props and NFL week 1 props, where like players like Mike Evans and some of the starting quarterbacks, have some lines going in there into their projection for tonight because I do use that for preseason projections. So I manually went in and just did like -5, -7 points for some of those guys. The starters that we're not targeting or not going to play, just so they wouldn't pop up, just so you guys know that, just as an FYI. So thought that'd be useful. Jake Bobo was a good call. What does that mean? Is he out? I'm a little bit nervous. He was last year. He worked out very well for us a bunch last year. So hopefully that's you're not saying he's out. All right. So I believe I just saw Corbin is suited up for the Titans, like that there. Let's see. Fun news, I guess. Jakeem Grant just signed with the Falcons. Man, these beat reporters are making me mad. Not nearly as good as I would like them to be right now. Let's see. There's not too much. Got starting alignment. I don't really care about that. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to refresh some data on my end again, and then I'll give you guys some props to kind of close it out, and we can probably end this video a little bit earlier than normal. So let's just see here. And I know it's Saturday; people are out enjoying the day, but that's honestly probably why today is such a relatively strong day thus far already, props wise. Oh, the Browns are at the goal line. Turned it over on downs. That's annoying. I don't know if you guys saw me for golf at all, but that's going pretty well as well. All right, so okay, we got some more updates. Pick six. Let's pull that up. And so I don't even know if I'd want to middle these because they are just pretty good edges in general. But here. So I keep bringing this up, guys, because this has been the big edge yesterday. Hopefully you guys were able to take advantage of these. Did not miss a single bet yesterday. I don't expect that today. It's already been a decently profitable day on pick six. Hopefully it can come through with these late night ones. I need Toure to make a catch. It's the biggest one. But looking at right now, obviously we have Joe Burrow, big prop line difference there. So apparently he's expected to play a little bit more than originally, or no, expected to play a little bit less than original. So this line right here, 50.5, it's probably just one series for Joe Burrow. So obviously we won't want to target him anyways. Jake Browning then as well, it's the reverse opposite. So I think I like the idea of doing that. That's a good stack on pick six. It's a very solid stack on pick six because it should correlate. And obviously you could run out the exact opposite of that as well if you wanted to. Decent prop line difference between PrizePicks and Underdog as well, right? I mean that's pretty massive there. And so obviously on Underdog, you'd be running out the over for Joe Burrow passing yards, and then you'd be running out the under for Jake Browning, and then vice versa on pick six. So I don't mind that. I do like Jordan Mason for the over there. Yoshiva has seen his lines kind of change a lot. Kyle Trask, I don't really understand why pick six actually had his line here at 89.5, just because it started out at 100 today and is since like gone lower. It's a little bit strange to me there. All right, so again, if we don't have any questions, I'll probably get out of here in 5 minutes or so here. Want to sweat some of these lineups that I might not need to because of Marshawn Lloyd being injured. He was in the best one I had going. The one that was in first when I started this. Now it's in 6th place. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. Let's see. For DFS, I'm assuming here. And sorry, guys, I do need to combine the picks and props, the DFS picks and props. It's just mine as well. I got a big audience or decent audience for both. Kind of need to do both. But yeah, for running back today, I have kind of settled more on. I'm just looking over it again, but definitely Cody Schrader there for the Niners. I think he's very solid for us. The 2 Titans running backs, it just makes sense for them to get a lot of work in this game. And so honestly, with that, I might play a little bit of the defenses as well. Obviously, correlation there if they're running a lot there. I don't mind that. And then after that, I am kind of spreading it out pretty fair. And so let's show you guys this as well. I don't really mind. So like I said, decently spreading it out here. Probably should get a little bit more Tucker. But you guys can see, definitely spreading it out a healthy amount. And honestly, while I'm looking at this, maybe a little bit too much Tony James Jr. for my liking. Maybe a little bit too much Tank Bigsby as well. 10%. I mean, that's the little stuff that I do at the end here. And really, I probably should get a little bit more. No, I got a decent amount of the Chargers back, so we're fine. So you guys can see a pretty strong allocation there. Maybe I could do a rule in which I am limiting having Haskins and Chestnut in a lineup together. That's like the one thing I could do, but I'm kind of fine with it. I don't see the need to adjust that. I'm just trying to be right. I think that's just the correct situation that we want to be targeting. For defense. Got some PrizePicks props. So I just mentioned a few. Let's see. The issue is the board does update throughout this video. I'm surprised that Kyle Trust line's going down. Still on my Mac Jones for his over. Guys, Sam Howell's prop line is all the way up to 107.5 for his pass yards. That's a good DFS play. Let's see. And then A.T. Perry as well, DFS-wise, just such a high yardage total. I still don't mind Bucky Irving. Jordan Mims, they keep bumping up a little bit. That's annoying. And then George Holane for the Seahawks. I don't mind over 20.5 rush yards as well. Let me do one real quick search again on my Twitter feed just to make sure we're not missing anything here. Getting the same news for the Chargers where they are, thin at running back as expected. Oh, come on. So someone asked one of the beat reporters that I'm following, no inactive list today? And he's like, not for preseason. That's just being lazy. Come on. That's why people are following you. Seeing Bucky Irvin taking some returns. Interesting how many teams are just trotting out a bunch of people to do returns. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want my players taking those hits. I find that a little bit strange. So I'm going to do a quick Twitter search on Isaac Orendo just to make sure he's playing or inactive. I was expecting that to be inactive, but the later that news comes out, the better that's going to be for us. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know why we're getting Orendo props. All sources I have seen have said that Orendo is going to be sitting. So again, that's why I like those running backs. Hey, PrizePicks Underdog, if you need someone to help you with your preseason props, let me know. I'd be happy to. But that's going to do it, guys, for tonight's video. Kind of a quick and easy one. A lot of stuff going on, but at the same time, still a straightforward slate. If you guys are a 9 to 5 member and we get any more kind of slate changing news, it'd really just be for the afternoon game or for the late night game, the Cards versus the Saints. I will try to keep you updated in there. I just don't think we're going to get that. So that's going to be all for today's video, guys. Good luck. Again, if you took my advice for the morning slate, had a good morning slate, let me know, send some screenshots, and I do appreciate that, guys, on Twitter. Be fun. We got one question coming in. Yeah, I still like Tunes under, but it has come down so much already that again, this is kind of the tough part about giving that advice. I already had him at his under of like 102 or 101, whatever it was. And then, yeah, if you want to do that, though, still, I don't mind that with the Seahawks running back. I think that's fine. I think that's a good one as well. But yeah, that's going to do it for tonight's video, guys. Good luck on your lineups. Good luck on your prop bets as well. Hope you guys have a good night. All right. Thanks for watching. And as always, let's keep cashing.